Chadwick Boseman, the actor, says right here on MSN, says that T'Challa is the enemy in Black Panther. The actor playing him says that T'Challa is the enemy in Black Panther. Does that make me change my stance? Absolutely not.
Where them kicks at? Where them hands? Where them holes? Where them throws? You know what I'm saying?
As a lot of people know who have seen Black Panther, and a lot of people feel sympathetic with Eric Killmonger because you feel like he had a really good revolutionary viewpoint, and he does have a really good revolutionary viewpoint, and what he says is on point. What he says is on point. What he does, no. But what he says is on point, okay? So the actors talk, he goes, first in this article, he goes into how, basically, Killmonger is created because he got dissed by his family. But he identifies with Black people all over the world, and he wants to use Wakanda's technology to liberate people of color who have been impressed by Western imperialism. That's what it says right here. Wants to use Wakanda's advanced technology to liberate people of color who have been oppressed by Western imperialism. His goals have real political weight, and they're more interesting than those of a lot of superhero villain movies. But now they go down and quote the actor, and I'm going to read what he said. I am actually the enemy, he says during a discussion with castmate Lupita Nyong'o and Marvel comic writer and journalist Ta-Nehisi Coates, who is really doing well, man. Shout out to Ta-Nehisi Coates. It's really coming up. At Harlem's Apollo Theater on Tuesday, the comments were transcribed and reported by Atlantic Star and Rolling Stones. It's the enemy I've always known. Its power, it's having privilege. He characterizes T'Challa as born with the vibranium spoon in my mouth. Quote, that's a quote. Okay. This reading of T'Challa as born to a higher caste, while Killmonger and his father are considered outsiders, is significant. Killmonger and his father, N'Jobu, played by an eye-watering performance from Sterling K. Brown, which that was a really good performance. This thing should get an Oscar. Are essentially shut off from Wakanda's Afro-futuristic utopia because they want to share it and extend its freedom to other people of color around the globe instead of hiding the country's prosperity from the world. Okay, and there's other things in here, but that's the basic gist of it. Okay, let's see. Here he goes. I don't know if we as African Americans would accept T'Challa as our hero if he didn't go through Killmonger, he says at the event, because Killmonger has been through our struggle, and I guess it's paraphrased, and T'Challa hasn't. Okay, so that's a good summary, I think, of the arguments for people who are Team Killmonger. And I understand that, and I feel that. And I don't care. Now I'm going to divulge, and I don't care if the actor feels that way, because that is no. I disagree. I strongly disagree. First of all, your enemy is not privilege. Privilege is not the enemy. You want to know what your enemy is in this world? Your enemy is evil in all of its various forms, shapes, and sizes. That is what's so complicated about evil. The war has always been, when you get down to it, about good against evil, about right against wrong. If you look at different philosophies, even if you look at the Tao, all types of things is always creation versus destruction, yin yang, although those are more complements than opposites. It is about doing what's right versus doing what's wrong. People who have privilege are not the enemy. People who have privilege could be your friends and allies if you can convince them to help you. That is not what makes T'Challa wrong. T'Challa's wrongness is his selfishness. T'Challa was selfish. That's what he did wrong. But he changed. Now, second of all, the idea of not accepting someone because they didn't go through your African American struggle who could help you is the wrong idea. That is incorrect. I won't say wrong, I will say that is incorrect. Because if you need help, you need to get help. And I will give you a good example. If someone has cancer, should they only take cancer treatment and be cured by someone else who has cancer? Or should they be treated by the doctor who could help them the most? If you don't have, and somebody that has wants to help you get what you don't have, you should let them help you. And that way you will come up. And you will have, and then they will have an ally, and then you both can have. Now, I know with a lot of human beings, there are people that have that don't want to help anybody have because they want it all. But there are also people who have that want to help people who don't have. Now, if you want to argue, well, they may have, but they never want you to come up as high as them, but they'll help you a little bit. Take the little bit, because it's more than what you had before. Why have nothing? It's more than what you had before. And I don't really think that all African Americans would not accept somebody who has not been through the exact same African American experience that we all have been through. I don't think that. Some, yes. But no, a lot of people are going to want to get help from whoever they think is going to be in their best interest. Because it's not like African Americans only support African Americans. So this idea that T'Challa is the enemy because he was born privileged, that's ridiculous. Like I said in the other video about this, it's Bizarro Japan. Okay? It's let's be isolationists and not care about the rest of the world. It wasn't because he was born with any privilege in his mouth, because his dad, by leaving that little boy over there on the West Coast, that was pretty snaky. That was pretty evil. Okay, his dad had no problem getting quite gangster when he had to. That was some straight up mob stuff. And he was born with privilege. It's not the being born with privilege. The problem is that Wakanda was only thinking about Wakanda. Wakanda need to think about everybody else in the world and not just Wakanda. So if you want to go, well, Killmonger's better because of what he said, and I can't like T'Challa because he had it easy and he had it nice, he had privilege in his whole life, then I submit to you that you have the incorrect viewpoint. And like I said in the other video, I would say that I'm probably not the martial arts instructor for you. Let me bring it back to the theme of this channel, because, see, I think you need to train your martial arts with whoever has the information that you need and is willing to share it with you, whether they are privileged or not. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what race they are. I don't care how tall they are. I don't care how short they are. I don't care how rich they are. I don't care how poor they are. I don't care how big they are. I don't care how small they are. I don't care if they're male. I don't care if they're female. I don't care about their gender, sexual orientation, or anything else. If they have information that you need, and they're willing to share it with you, and you're willing to be a student of theirs, and you reach either for free or for fee, for something that benefits both parties, you should train with that person. In judo, they call it mutual welfare and benefit. You should train with that person. If you're going to take this approach, and I don't know the actor. No, I'm not going to make any assumptions about their motive. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick with what I'm saying. I don't care if it's the actor saying this, that's the enemy. People of privilege are not your enemy. If you want to start a business, let's say you want to start a business, who are you going to go to for finances? If you have a charity, who do you go to for financing? You go to people that have resources. Whether the resources be monetary or intellectual, you need people that have resources to help you so that you in turn can help the people who don't have. And let's make it clear. T'Chaka's, I think I got the name right, T'Chaka's brother who was killed, he was not really killed just because he wasn't killed because he wanted to help other people. He was killed because he disobeyed his king. His king told him not to take Wakandan technology out of Wakanda. Did he keep at his king to try to change his king's mind? No. He disobeyed his king, apparently in a culture where the king can get away with killing you, and it's all good. Everybody's like, it was the king, right? Apparently, it obviously really wasn't all good because he covered it up. He did a poor job. That was the one thing I felt like was really a little unrealistic. I'm like, if this guy can run a country, why would he handle a murder like this sloppy? And then they got that technology. He should have Men in Black the little boy, give him a little flashy thing. Or really, he could have just tased his brother and stuck him in prison. So if there was really any enemy who had privilege, it was T'Challa's father, T'Chaka, not T'Challa. And Killmonger taught the good game, but he shot his girlfriend in the face. You're going to shoot somebody because they're being held hostage. You probably are not the kind of leader to duplicate your skills in your subordinates so they can move in when you retire or die. And if you can't accept working with somebody because they're not exactly like you, then you need to open your mind. Maybe somebody that has some privilege has knowledge and information that can help you step your game up. And then after a while, you ain't got to worry about what anybody else is doing because you got your game strong. You just keep going and doing what you're doing. You build yours up, but you better protect it. Once you build it up, you better protect it. Remember Tulsa? All right. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.